there we go. Turn my microphone on, helps. What an idiot, what an idiot. So, I turn my mic on, now you can hear me, and everything should be alright. It's a Turtle Beach headset, and it's got 3 controls on it. One that so I can turn down the game sound in my ears, but it remains the same for you. I've got a chat volume, which I have no idea what that does. Then I've got a mute mic button, and then I've got a bass boost switch. Anyway, hopefully you can hear me now. Sorry about that. So let's just check on the map, make sure I know kind of where I'm going. There we go. What I want to do, what my plan is, I'm going to take off and we shall go through the Menai Straits there, through the Menai Straits, and then as I come out at the other end, turn right and then fly through the mountains of Snowdonia and then come back. That is my plan. One never knows. Okay, so release the brake, and for a change I'm in the beach. This is default aircraft again. I'm using default aircraft just for a change. So I'm going to taxi up here. This will take me up to the runway. Carnarvon, we're at Carnarvon. Obviously this is not real world weather, otherwise we would not be flying around Snowdon, believe me. Let's drop that down. Whoops, drop that down a bit. Whoops. I haven't flown the Baron for ages, and it used to be my favourite aircraft. Oh, favourite GA aircraft. I've got loads of others, and I must reinstall them. Here we go. Turning on to 02. And we're in Orbex True Earth Central. And here we go. We're on the runway. Not an awful lot of open sky scenery here. Open street map scenery rather. 85 knots, and we're flying. Give it. Flaps up, trim up, and into the aircraft. Right, okay. So this is a lot faster. So I say we're going to go through the Menai Straits. Here we are. Now the Menai Straits between the Isle of Anglesey on the left and mainland Wales on the right. Anglesey is a part of Wales, it's, you know. So we've got North Wales on the right and Anglesey on the left. On Anglesey, of course, we've got RAF Valley. Lots of jets fly out of there. They do the Mach loop. Which is absolutely stunning. I used to fly it. There is, what's his name? Nick Garlick. He did a really fantastic document on the Mach loop and actually gave you loads of tips to flying it, and actually the direction and the entry points and the exit points, everything. It was absolutely superb. One day what I'll do is I'll get it out and we'll fly the Mach loop. Now the Menai Straits, you've got the I think it's the Irish Sea. We're heading towards the Irish Sea, but on the other side of Anglesey is the it's still the Irish Sea, yeah, but they're called different things. But what you've got through here, obviously, is a confluence. We call a confluence of 2 major bodies of water, and when the tide runs through here, so I think it runs through at a ridiculous speed. I think it's more than 11 knots. This body of water has loads of problems. You know, if you don't know how to sail it, and there's people who've lived along the Menai Straits all their lives and still don't know the water that well. You know, people who've sailed on it and they can get themselves into all sorts of trouble. There's whirlpools, there's eddies, there's all sorts of stuff that goes on here in the Menai Straits. During the summer months, this place is absolutely alive with tourists, sailors, pleasure craft, all sorts. There's a real huge, shoreline community through the Menai Straits here. Absolutely wonderful. So we're coming up on the Menai Bridge, the main Menai Bridge. I've driven across this, and of course you've got the longest train station name in the world. Is also just on Anglesey, Llanfair, Port Gwingilly, and that's where I get stuck. I have to be able to read it to say it, so I have to see it to be able to say it, and even then I sometimes get stuck, and I'm not Welsh, you see, so there we are. So we're coming up to the Menai Bridge, and that road it is on becomes the M52? I'm not quite sure now, I can't remember, but that road goes all the way through to Manchester, and the motorway complex up at Manchester, the M6 and everything. It's a heck of quite a drive. I've driven along that road. See traffic going across it now as we come over. So, oh, sorry, that is the new bridge. Sorry, this is the Menai Straits Bridge. This is Menai Bridge here. The one we've just gone over is the new one, I think. As you can see, very wooded, very nice to fly through. Looks very, very nice indeed. Shall we do it? Shall we get under? Shall we try and go for it? Why not? Everybody does this in Flight Simulator. Yep, going for it. Throttle up. I'm sure the CAA will want to talk to me about that little manoeuvre. I know I would. So there's a left wing view. So as we come out of the Straits at this end, I'm going to turn right and we'll fly through Snowdon and have a look around. And the reason why I brought the Baron today is because it's got a little bit more power, just in case we get into trouble flying through the hills. I'm pretty sure we won't, but it's always handy having that little bit of extra power. So this is the North Wales coast, and down there you can see Llandudno and the Great Orme as well. There's some beautiful countryside up here. So True Earth Great Britain Central. We're still waiting for True Earth Great Britain North to come out. I suspect it won't be too much longer, maybe another month or so. You know what Orbix are like, they just kind of beaver away and then bang, they just release it. If you haven't got True Earth Great Britain South or Central, let me just explain something. That in the configuration, when you configure it, it will say, do you want to use transparent roads or default roads? And that can be a little bit confusing if you have never used this package before. So default roads obviously shows you the default Xplane roads. But if you use transparent roads, what actually happens is the default roads disappear, and you actually see the roads in the photo scenery being used instead, which is far more realistic actually. And so my advice, and if your computer can handle it, then by all means, you know, turn off the just have it on transparent. I am going to change the time of day. The sun is a bit low there, and I'm not going to do it in there, am I? I'm going to do it in here. Let's just, well, I tell you what we need to do. We need to change the time of year. There we go. That's why the sun is low. Right, done. Apply those settings. That's better. We can actually see a bit more of what we're flying through as well. So we're coming into Snowdonia. Lots of people love walking around here and climbing around here. It is a very, very beautiful. It is, you know, stunning scenery in the real world, and it's very good in the sim. I mean, look at this. We'll fly down this valley here. No, you don't. You don't lose road traffic at all. In fact, if you may have just seen as I flew over the bridge, there was vehicles going across it. Of course, when you're out in the countryside like this, you might not see road traffic. I can see a vehicle down there, though. I just saw a car on the road as we go through this valley. I can see cars moving down there. You may not be able to see it, but I can. Let's see if I can get down lower. I need to be aware. You might just see a car going along the road there, just passing that truck. There you go. You can see cars on the road, sir. So, no. In answer to your question, you do not. Right, I'm going to have to... Oh. I don't believe it. Bear with 1 second. Right, my wife has just come home unexpectedly, so I'm going to have to cancel this, I'm afraid. So what I'll do, I'll try and get above here very quickly so you can see what's going on. And I will come back to this a bit later. There you go. Look at that. Right, I will have to go, I'm afraid. But I'll be back later on or tomorrow. We shall see.